Hello guys, welcome back. Another video on Shoot on Streets.
And the topic today is very important. It's like a top secret which most of the photographers don't reveal. And today, me and Ahmed Ramzan is going to reveal that top secret to everybody.
And before we get started, let us go through some of our pictures. There's a lot of confusion among the photographers who go out on the street and shoot that what mode should we shoot in? Should we shoot in aperture priority, shutter priority? What ISO should we keep? What settings should we keep when we are shooting in the daylight? What mode should we keep when we are shooting at night? So let's find out how does it work exactly.
The biggest struggle which everybody faces when they are starting street photography, and I'm talking about street photography because today we will be discussing about street photography only. I have come to this conclusion that we should not struggle on our camera and waste that particular moment which we are trying to capture, because street photography is all about capturing that decisive moment, capturing that moment which is passing by. If you lose that, everything is gone. Keep your settings to basics. And for that, I use ISO priority. Yes, ISO priority, not manual mode, not aperture priority, not shutter priority, ISO priority. That is the right mode to capture all those pictures which you have seen previously, and all those pictures which you're going to see further also, they are all shot on ISO priority. That is the simplest way.
So Ashok, as you have mentioned about ISO priority, more or less I do the same while I'm walking the streets. Can you elaborate a bit more about ISO priority?
Yep. ISO priority is the best mode which I feel like one should shoot on. In ISO priority, what actually happens is you are controlling your aperture. There are three things to control while doing photography. Everybody knows about that. That is shutter, aperture, and these two things control the exposure. And the third thing is the ISO. So here what we do, we leave ISO to the camera to decide what ISO it's going to use. And we select two things, which is the most important things, the shutter and the aperture. So we select these two things and let the camera handle the ISO for exposure. For that particular moment or that particular frame, the camera will decide what ISO it has to use at that settings. So I give the camera my settings, which is the aperture and shutter. Like I give 16 aperture, and I normally keep my shutter speed around 250 or more than 250 also during the daytime. So the camera will manipulate according to itself and give me the right exposure by balancing the ISO. So ISO is the priority, but on the other way, the priority is my aperture and shutter. So on street, we need more depth of field, so keep your aperture at the maximum, like 16, 11, and don't go below 8. And keep your shutter speed, because you're freezing, there are a lot of movements happening, you need to freeze those things. So keep your shutter speed around 250 and let ISO be whatever.
Okay, so the simplest rule according to you is that focus more on visuals rather than playing around with your ISO priority and stuff.
See, that is the whole idea while shooting, while keeping this mode on your camera, that don't waste your time on struggling to find out what is the right exposure for your frame at that point of time. Don't waste, because photography, street photography is all about capturing those small moments which are passing by every second. They are moving. So instead of keeping manual mode on your camera, you be on your manual mode.
And there's one more thing, Ashok. Now a lot of people, they think that if we increase the ISO, the pictures will be grainy, or they might face, I don't know, they want the sharpest and clearest image ever. Like what's your take on this? Like what if the picture becomes grainy? Or
I say, like, this is my thinking, like even if you have the best of the best picture, like technically, like sharpest picture without grains and everything is cool and everything is fine, but what is the use if you don't have the content in the picture? So why miss that content? Don't miss that content. Everybody, please, content is the most important thing Even if your picture is grainy, it is a little bit overexposed or underexposed, don't worry about that.
And even if it's a bit out of focus,
yeah,
if the content is strong,
yeah,
then it's a beautiful picture.
yeah. So it is all, nobody's going to ask you, like, if you have the sharpest of the picture and the content is not there, they're not interested in it. And when the content is interesting, when the content is very strong and you got the right moment, nobody's going to ask you why the picture is grainy. And trust me, nobody asked me also, like, why your picture is grainy, why your picture is dark, or why it is little bit blurred. But if the content is strong, so worry about the content. Keep your eyes open on the content and not eyes on your camera. Let camera do its work. Today's the cameras are so advanced.
Yeah, and technically so strong.
Yeah, you don't have to really worry on that.
Yeah.
So leave that thing to the camera and shoot on ISO priority. Trust me, we are getting good pictures. You will definitely get, and you just need to train yourself to be there. So Ahmed, I have told what settings I use. Let's reveal your settings to everybody. That what settings do you use while doing street photography?
Well, more or less I do the same. Like I shoot in ISO priority, and again I control my aperture and shutter. Since, if you remember, we have started our journey together in street photography, and we used to have a lot of discussion regarding how should we go along with it. And again, after a lot of mistakes, I have started doing the same. And there are other things where, like, sometimes it's very rare, very rare, when I do the manual ISO. But more often, what I do is I shoot in ISO priority, and I control my shutter, and I control my aperture.
Yeah, because see, people must be thinking like, oh, they're using ISO priority and they're leaving everything on camera. I mean, we are not there to prove that, okay, I know about my camera, I know about exposure, I know about my shutter and aperture. It is not about that. Like doing street photography, you need to be worried about the visual, the final output. For any photography, you need to be worried about the final output. If you can deliver final output which is great by this mode and this setting, why not do it?
The final conclusion is,
train your eyes to see things and not waste your time on seeing your camera and its setting and its mode.
let your eyes be hungry always. Look for the visuals, look for the things, rather than focusing on your camera or the technical things.
Keep yourself on a manual mode to see things and let your camera be on ISO priority. Trust me, you are going to get amazing pictures and you will not be struggling while doing street photography. ISO priority, keep it in your mind.
Feel free to ask any questions regarding this topic or any other topic, and we'll surely try our best to make another video or answer the questions which you guys have. So let us end our video with the same mantra: look,
listen,
and learn.
and you're definitely gonna learn.
Take care.
Take care. Bye-bye.
Bye. Look, as you said, it's not fake smile here. Hello guys, welcome back on another video on Shoot on Streets. And hold on.
And the topic today is very important.
Smile.
Yeah.
Hello guys, welcome. Smiley.
पोशाक भी देख लियो.
So the final conclusion.
The final.
So the final conclusion.
Dun, 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 dun.